Future Stars event, at the core, we really want to try to bring together the 48 best 12 and under players in the world, give them an unbelievable experience from tennis.
My name is Max Hodkinson. I am from Great Britain. My dream in tennis is to be the best there ever was.
My name is Korana Barisic. I come from Croatia. My dream in tennis is to become professional tennis player and world #1.
My name is Liam Dent. I'm from the USA, and my goal is to win more Grand Slams than Djokovic.
This is definitely one of the best junior tournaments in the world. Transportation is like pros, meals is like pros, credentials, everything is like it is at the pros. And hopefully they leave here saying, I want to taste that again.
I wish when I was 12, I had this experience. You know, I wish, because I think it's like a mini Grand Slam for me. It's kind of showing them this is the way you will be treated a bit in the future. When you're a great player, but you know, there are some sacrifices first before getting there, and so there is a lot of work. It's a long journey.
We could have easily done this tournament, rolled out the balls, saw everyone compete and scout the players and see who the best players are and build the relationship with them. Easily could have done that. But again, tennis is in our DNA at IMG. We really thought it was important that the education, if we're going to do this, like, let's try to educate these players, parents, and coaches on how to get ready for this journey. How can we help guide them and give them some education to help that journey? In this week, we're packing lots of education and learning experiences for everyone, kids, coaches, and parents. Yes, tennis is important, but the learning, the workshops, and the relationships are really what we focus on.
Korana initially pursued tennis and gymnastics, and she exceeded in both sports. She was really good. Then we have a discussion what to choose, tennis or gymnastics, and she said she liked tennis more. After 2 years, she decided to stay on tennis and train just tennis.
I definitely like to play aggressive tennis. I love to be offensive and to put opponent in defense. My favorite shot is backhand because I feel I have like the most power on that shot.
We went on the tennis court when she was, I think, 6 years old, something like that. She showed remarkable motor skills and excellent coordinations. I think she's the first Croatian player in history who played in 1 year for 2 national teams, under 12 and under 14 on the Winter Cup, and that gave her a really good boost for later.
Max has a brother, and Max was born after his brother Neo, and he just basically grew up on the tennis court while his brother was playing tennis. And he started with cones and putting tennis balls on the cones when he was just a baby, you know, and after he just, you know, naturally moved onto the court and started playing tennis with his brother and with other kids when he was basically 1 year old. And he started competing around when he was 4 or 5 years old with sponge tennis.
Max has been with us since he was just turned 8 years old. He loves playing tournaments, he loves training, always played against much older players. He's become a national champion a couple of times for his age and in the year above himself. And yeah, currently having some fantastic experiences. He's represented Great Britain. So he's had a real exciting and fun journey so far, but obviously, yeah, still only 11 years old.
What I love most on the tennis court is competing really hard, fighting till the end, winning, obviously, playing good. I like to make my opponent run side to side, move them all around the court, put them in tricky situations.
A lot of coaches said that Max has very good talent, very natural talent towards tennis. By watching somebody, he can pick up certain skills, put it back on court, and that's just fantastic.
It's going to be a little more tiring than you're used to, and that is the next step, right? Because you're hitting the ball great when you're set up, you're hitting the ball awesome, and you're dictating all the points you're playing. We just need to get you set up more often, and that's just legs. What he has told to me, Liam's goals are he wants to win Grand Slams. And so, I said, okay, practice is no fun, and that's your fault. Because, those guys who win Grand Slams, they're ridiculous. They just are. The things that they do are not normal. And so that's one of the conversations, well, if that's what you want, then the things that you have to do to get there are ridiculous and not normal. And we work backwards from there. And he's like, Dad, I want to be pretty good. I'm like, okay, are you sure? Because that's all of a sudden, I feel, one of the conversations we have is once you make the commitment to be good at something, you're no longer doing it because it's fun. You can have fun along the way, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. But also, when you have tough days and hard times, it doesn't mean that we stop. That's a hobby. When it's a passion, when it's a pursuit, we play no matter what.
I feel like me and Dad do better than most father coaches, and we get along pretty well together. He doesn't yell at me if I don't win a match. He's happy with if I do what I'm supposed to on the tennis court. I feel confident in doing what he says because he's been on the tour and he's seen what the best guys do. So yeah, I take confidence in what he says.
What attracted me to him is the look in his eye when he's playing. He's very focused. You can see that he's very engaged whenever he plays, and he's very tactically smart. So when you watch him, it's good fun because you can see what he's thinking and you can see him trying to figure things out and problem solve. Just likes the chess side, the tactical side of the game. So he's a fun player to watch.
Personally, I haven't played tennis. I didn't play tennis, but I like to watch sport, especially tennis, all my life. And so it's not strange to me to watch, tennis videos for 5 hours a day. If I have time, I read the books. I like to learn from other people. I want to hear other people's opinion. Then I can choose what is good, what is maybe not good, and implement that in Korana's tennis playing style.
On the court, he's my coach, not my father. But when I come off the court, we're just father and daughter. Yeah. It works really well because he's with me 24/7, so he knows everything about me and he knows what's the best for me. So I think I always, have to listen for him if I want to succeed in anything.
We have some rule that we don't talk about of tennis when we are off court. Tennis is for court, and off court I'm dead, and we don't talk too much about tennis. Sometimes we look at tennis match together and something like that, but generally we avoid to talk about tennis all day long.
From what it looks like to me, you've already made a drastic improvement. Does that make sense? From yesterday to today, only just talking about it, your technique has gotten better with this first step. Does that make sense? So now I know it's not going to feel good. I get that because it's complicated with the racket and the ball coming at you. You know what I mean? But it has to happen. And I'll say this, if you weren't doing it well, then we would take a step backwards and take the racket out of your hand. But I actually feel like you're doing it so well that you're ready to keep moving forward. Is that okay? Okay.
Taylor does a really good job, though, of making sure Liam knows that how much he's loved. It doesn't matter if he wins a Grand Slam or 20 Grand Slams or doesn't win a Grand Slam or doesn't even make it to the professional tour. Taylor makes sure that he knows his identity, his child, and it's not a tennis player. It's not who he's expected to be. It's not who we want him to be. It's he wants to be a tennis player, and so we're here to support him.
Did you ever play his dad?
Never played his dad, but maybe I played. I don't know. I need to ask him.
I was wondering if you think the game style is
Same.
the one-e and
The one hand and also this on the forehand. This.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Marcus has been a long-time client of ours, so to be able to get him involved in what we're doing is very exciting. And the kids are excited to see him, you know, and the parents remember his epic matches with Agassi, his finals of the Australian Open. He's a really important part of what we do.
I've been playing for so many years. This sport has gave so much to me. It's, I think, one of the very nice way to give back. You know, there is different ways to give back, but this is really a special way, and especially to this young generation at the age of 12.
Hello.
And how do I do it? I speak to the kids. I try to facilitate the parents. They have so many questions in their mind. So it's just to give them a bit of my experience, a bit of my knowledge, and then, you know, you tell them 20 things, they take 2 things out of what you said, and it's a win for them. That's how I try to do my work, and it's great fun for me, honestly.
What is your favorite court surface to play on?
Clay.
There is so many different aspects of being a tennis player. It's not just, you know, hitting on a tennis ball. There is so many things that you have to find a way to balance and find the right puzzle for you. So I think just by listening to these workshops and these activities that are going on in this event, I think there is no way you don't learn something that you need. ATP was here, WTA was here having workshops on the mental health, which is very important.
Often there's an assumption, and I hear this quite a lot, that as coaches, you know, we have to deal with the parents. It's a really incorrect or inappropriate verb to use, because we really should be working, you know, with the parents, because they're a massive stakeholder. You know, without parents, we haven't got children playing tennis. And so I think there's an opportunity, and this is a really great example of spending more time to understand the role of the coach, the role of the parent for the best emotional, social, psychological and physical needs of the child. So, you know, why not work together more often?
I certainly think Max and Max's mum Susie and I have all developed our relationship because we've managed to spend a lot of time together to go through experiences. We've listened to a lot of world-class people talk, and also being able to speak to those people one-on-one and actually pick their brains like that has been amazing.
The best satisfaction I get during the workshop is how many of the parents are getting up and taking photos of the material that is being presented, or have their phone recording all the information. My ultimate goal is can they take what they learned here and bring it back to their daily lives, and can that help them have a smoother path to success? That really would be great.
I chose to play a one-hand backhand because, I don't know, Dad told me not to. I mean, that's mostly why. Dad told me not to, and I like the one-hand backhand.
I was actually telling him to hit a two-handed backhand, and he said, "No, Dad, I'm gonna hit a one-hander." You know, and he's like, "Okay, you better crank that thing, because people are gonna pick on it." Once he showed me that he had some natural talent on that side, I was like, okay, just understand that that side's going to be a target, so we're going to have to make sure that that is a weapon. And he really embraces it. You know, he goes out there, works on it, and when the kids hit there, he tries to take offense on that side as well. So again, that's not an easy thing to do at 11 years old, but it's what it's going to take if he wants to achieve these goals. I'm very much into him having his own identity as soon as possible. This is the type of player I am, because when you turn on the TV and you watch Sinner play, you know what you're going to get. When you watch Nadal play, Federer play, Djokovic, Alcaraz, you know what you're going to get. They have a very strong identity. And it doesn't mean they don't adjust, but their adjustments are very subtle, very small. And that's what I want Liam to have as soon as possible. I don't want him to worry so much about the other kid across from the net on the other side of the court. I want him to say, well, this is my game. You're going to have to adjust to me. And does that cost us some really bad losses? Absolutely. But in the short term, it's worth it.
We break it down. It's not about a score. It's not about a result. It's about, are we taking the next step to getting you to be the player that you want to be? Because you can win and you can have a good score, but you could also step the wrong direction. And then you ask yourself, was that really a win?
After I lost today, Mr. Baghdadis, he came up to me and he told me what my dad tells me every time. Just wait 4 years until you get taller and bigger to play with these guys, then the ball will be more in your comfort zone. You will hit the ball bigger, you will move better. And so it's giving me motivation to just work harder on the court. And if I keep working hard, I feel like I could win a lot of Grand Slams. So yeah.
I was a kid too. I was very emotional. The future was unknown. I feel the pressure from my parents, even though the parents don't put pressure, but you do feel the pressure. And I think giving them also a bit of the emotional side of the love and tap on the back and telling them it's going to be okay. You know, I think it's important too. And if you could say one thing that could change a bit their mood at that time or their happiness, I think it's very important.
As an ex-professional player, even we have our experience, even we've been there, we still ask ourselves, are we doing the right things? Do we stay on this path or do we make a different choice? We think we know what we're doing and we're trying our hardest, but of course, when it's your child, you're emotional and you want to make sure, you always ask yourself, are we doing the right things? So it's nice to hear.
My favourite surface is the clay court because hit with lots of spin, like sliding around. I like preparing the shots. Obviously bounces a bit higher as well. Take it up here and shoulder height.
We have some conversations around short-term, medium-term and long-term goals. Ultimately, he wants to win Grand Slams and he wants to be a very successful professional tennis player.
I'd like to win all the majors, but if I had to pick one, it would be the French Open because it's clay. Rafa Nadal's won it. I like his style, like the forehand, fighting spirit. I also like it when he hits those incredible shots in tricky situations.
We're coming from a PE background and we know that without setting your target and without saying that, you know, I want to achieve this, you never will. So you need to set sometimes higher target. You need to dream high to achieve those aims.
In this week, there is not only tennis here, there is also off-court games and also a lot of fun off-court. It was definitely really cool and nice because on the other tournaments you don't really have time to find new friends and to hang out with them. But in this tournament you also had time to play tennis and to play off the tennis court and make new friendships.
Whatever the activities are, I think it's really important just for the kids to kind of not have to have their guard up all the time. It's tough, you gotta focus, it's work, and then these kids here, really it's a job for these kids. I mean, they're on the court a lot and it's work, so it's nice to see them kind of let their guards down and goof around a little bit.
One of the most exciting things that have been reported back to us is the Future Stars kids that leave here and they go to other tournaments. All the Future Star kids are hanging out together at the other tournaments, which I think is really cool. And I think that's happening when they're playing all these games off the court. No parents around, just the kids playing, and I think that's bonding the kids and building relationships for life.
I was expecting it to be very high, no easy matches, everybody's can play really well. I think I've played some good tennis. I got to the quarterfinals, fought really hard, played really well. Lost a tough one, but fought till the end, tried really hard, wanted to impress.
He's disappointed that he lost, but I think he'll take a massive amount of learning from that match. And obviously since his last match, we've had the opportunity to practice, talk about the match, and already I feel that he's becoming a better player as a result of that experience. Huge learning to take away about how focused and resilient and competitive you have to be at this level.
So what are your overall thoughts? I know it's soon, but when you're talking about the first two words you used was good fighting, that's the top of the list.
This is a taste of what it's like. Now, the amount of hard work that it's going to take to be at this level when you're older is massive, and there's a lot of years of work to put in. So he's also got to remember that and take that away, that you've got to do the hard yards to get to this kind of level. So it's kind of amazing to get a taste, but also to take away from it that day in, day out, you have to really dedicate yourself.
Every tournament we attend is a part of the development process. So she needs to realize alone, not with me. She needs to realize in her head what is good, what is not good, and in the next tournaments, how can she perform better, because there is always room for improvement. Even top players, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, everyone, they are learning every day. And because of that, they are so many years on the top.
My yesterday's semifinals, first set I played really good and I listened to plan that my coach said before match, and I was really doing everything I needed. And then second set, the girls started playing more offensive, and I just lost myself there and I didn't know what to do in that moment. So I just stopped playing the way I played the first set. I wasn't so confident anymore. So yeah, I was even more defensive that third set, so it wasn't really good.
After match, you are warm head. Usually I don't come to her immediately after match, because I see her, she's sad, and in her head, she's always better than opponent. It's pretty hard to say anything. We were not best friends after the match, but after 30 minutes we are already the besties. So we go forward and looking for new challenges and places where she can perform and play her best tennis.
The experience at Tattery Club is just, something unique. and Max is going away with an experience which definitely going to motivate him. And I think he's going to have some unique memories what only a few kids gonna have.
The most important thing that I would want Liam to come away with from this tournament is it's just the start. It's just the beginning. This is what it could be like, right? This is a taste. Does it motivate you?
If there is one thing that I would love the kids and the families and the coaches to remember out of this week, enjoy it. Enjoy the journey, because the journey is very long. So you have to be surrounded with a great team, great people around you, good friends. Never stop learning, commit to the project, be consistent on it day to day, do the work, and go get your dream, you know. And I think that's the only way.
And we'll find out 6, 7, 8 years if somebody learned something in our workshops that helped them get to where they are. But there are a lot of things need to align to get to be Carlos Alcaraz.